there's going to be a whole lot of tips and tricks in this video, and this might even assist you on if you're assembling any IKEA furniture, because a lot of the IKEA furniture is all the same. And it also, I'm going to have some tips zoomed in on this drawer. I've seen a lot of comments and questions on these Nordli drawers, and people are having issues installing them. So watching this video, me disassembling, I'm going to show some close-ups of how these drawers snap in. So this will definitely assist you. Welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, you're about to see me disassemble this 12 drawer dresser from IKEA. It's a Nordli dresser. And this applies to a whole lot of IKEA furniture, not just this specific model, because almost all IKEA furniture, whether it be Nordli Series, Nordli, Brimes, they're all put together with almost the exact same hardware. So let's get started. And if you're new to this channel, please click the subscribe button below, click the little bell for future notifications, and smash that like button because it helps my YouTube channel and the YouTube algorithm. So the first step is I'm going to be removing all the drawers in this and be able to disassemble it. So let me get a close-up shot here of how these drawers work. So this little plastic tab right here slides forward and locks on this pin. So I don't think you can pull it back with your finger, and that's what the flathead screwdriver is for. So you stick the flathead screwdriver right in this little channel and pull back, and as soon as I pulled back, you could see that it lifts up now, and there's a little pin. So there's one on each side, and you do the same thing. It takes a little bit of pressure. I don't think you could do it with your finger. And then the drawer itself, so I'll zoom back a little bit. The drawer itself tilts up, and you can see it's free now. So it tilts up and then it slides. And the assembly of that drawer is the same way, except reverse. So you just tilt it like that. So I've got the drawer tilted up, and it helps with two people. And also if the slides are all the way out, and you just slide it back, tilt it on that little hole right there, that pin, line them both up, and then snap the plastic piece down. Now that I've got the first drawer removed, I can show you guys a little bit better, and I've got my hands free. So these slides right here slide independently. So the easiest way to install the drawer, a tip and trick, is to have these fully extended out, which is right there, and this one the same way. You put your drawer in at an angle like this. Keep in mind that you don't want this to slide back on you, so you want to kind of lift up on the drawer all the way back, and the drawer has a little hole in the back of it right here. So that little pin that I'm pointing at right there, which is right here, has to line up with the hole in the drawer. And as soon as you get that hole and the drawer lined up flush, this little pin right here has to line up with that little hole in the drawer, and then that allows that plastic piece to slide over it, and it lines up perfectly. And then you get the easy close just like that with one finger, and the soft close. So now I'm gonna take out the rest of these 11 drawers right here, and then I'll get started on the disassembly of this Nordli IKEA 12 drawer dresser. Both tabs out, lift up, slide forward, and the drawer comes out. It's pretty easy. Installation is the same, so once you get the hang of it, it's a little bit difficult the first drawer that you put in, but once you get the hang of it, it goes really smoothly. And it always helps to have two people to install the drawer so they can hold out the slides, because if one slide slides in a little bit when you're installing the drawer, it's really hard to get them both lined up at the same time. Now that all the drawers are out in this dresser, the very next step is to remove the top. So I've got to get this top piece off, and what holds this on is there's 8 total. So that little screw, which is not really a screw, and you can see that it's got an arrow on it facing that way. You also, I don't know if you can see it in the video, but there's an arrow facing down. That arrow has to be facing upward. So I'm going to turn this to the left, and I felt it release until that arrow, hopefully it focuses, is facing upward right there. So this one, same way. Turn it, which it got tight and then it got loose. And you'll feel it whenever you're doing this. So all these have to be facing upwards. And when they're all facing upwards, that means that they're unlocked. Facing downwards is locked. So I've got 2 more. All right, so I'm gonna put the camera down over here, and the top should lift off. All right, now that I've got all 8 of those locks unlocked, and the arrow should be facing upward, downward is the lock position. This top right here should lift off. If not, I may have to tap it with a hammer. All right, so as you can see, it did take a little bit of tapping, but I didn't need the hammer. It would be a whole lot easier with 2 people because you could lift simultaneously, 1 on each side. And you can see by the studs right here, it has to be lifted straight up. You don't want to bend or break any of these studs in order to reassemble it. This piece is actually pretty heavy. It's got some weight to it. This feels like a solid piece of wood. It's not like some cheap particle board. It is actually very, very heavy. Now that I have the top removed, is to remove each section. So this little section right here will come off in one piece. This section, and that section. So it should come out in 4 pieces, the top and the bottom and then the drawers. And that will allow you to move this dresser pretty easily. So let me give you a quick overview before. So this first section, those 3 drawers, that separates right here at that line. And what I'm about to show you is twisting both of these right here. See the arrows, that one's facing up, that one's facing down. So what has to happen here is that arrow has to be facing down in order to separate this. And I'll just leave that one because that locks the pin in between there, and I'll show you why I do that here in a minute. But here we go. So this top section will come off right here, just those 3. This top section, just those 3. And then that'll leave me with that bottom and that bottom. And then I'll take it off, and then you'll be left with just the platform. So here I'm about to twist those 4 just to separate this piece right here. And I'm going to twist the arrow, which is now, it's facing up. I'm going to face the arrow facing down. So just a little bit closer view of what I'm doing right here. So this happened during installation. So if you do try to over tighten these things a little bit, that cracked a little bit, but that doesn't affect the structural integrity of this. So this right here, you can see the arrow facing up. And what I'm about to do is show you, turn it till the arrow is facing down. And you do that 4 times. Just like that. So all 4 arrows are facing downward, and I'm not doing anything with these because that locks the pin going up to the bottom. So this one, that one, this one, and this one. And this may be a little bit difficult lifting this up because you got to lift it perfectly straight up because there's big pins. They're probably about 1.5 inches sticking up. So I'm gonna put the camera down and see if I can get this thing out of here. So I think the easiest way will be able to push up right here and then lift up straight, just like that, which these are pretty heavy, but as you can see, I just kind of lifted it with my shoulder and straight up, and give you a close-up of what's left. So these little pins right here, that is locked in by this. So you can definitely remove those if you're moving by untwisting those. I may leave those temporarily. So you're left with 4 of those after you undo all those right here, and then you're just left with the platform. All right, so Phillips screwdriver, once again, I'm gonna be removing this piece right here. So I'm gonna twist all these arrows straight down. So straight down. All right, so once again, all 4 arrows right there is straight down. I'm gonna lift right here with my shoulder a little bit, straight up. And there we go. Straight down. And this piece is pretty heavy. So keep in mind, it probably would be easier with 2 people to disassemble. And the other thing is that I wanted to point out, these drawer slides right here, they're very, very sharp. So they kind of lock back in this backward position. So if they're out like this, floating around, make sure they're all the way back and they're locked back in that backward position. So that way that the likelihood of you getting cut or sliced open is a whole lot less. All right, so I've got both pieces loose right here, so these both should just lift straight up. So I'll take my foot right there, lift up on this bar and lift up on the back, and you need to be sure to lift straight up because they have pins in the bottom as well. And you don't want to bend or break any of those. All right, so this is that piece right there, and this piece should be the same way. All right, so there we go. That's the complete disassembly of this Nordli dresser. So you got the base right here at the bottom, which it has all these pins in it. Alright, so thank you so much for watching this whole video here. If you haven't yet, please click that like button down below. It helps my channel out tremendously. So this right here, this is the 4 big sections of the Nordli dresser, which these are all the same, but I did label them top left because I wanted to put them back just like they were because it was already built. And 2, it may help you in the future because some, you can see the top right here, it doesn't have studs right here, and then you have studs. I didn't take everything all apart. because it'll just make it a whole lot easier to put back together. So I labeled everything. These are 4 different sections right here, and they're still actually pretty heavy, even though they're taken apart. I mean, these things, they probably weigh, I would guess, 40 pounds, maybe 45 pounds a piece. So that's 4 sections over there. I've got 6 drawers on that side, 6 drawers right behind me, and then you have the base, the base over there, and then this thinner portion right here, this is the top. So that's pretty much it. All the hardware right here, it stays in. I don't know if you'd want to take that out if you was moving a long distance. I don't know if it got jarred around. That hardware possibly could come out, so that would just keep that in mind. But I don't know how you would get that stuff out easily, because whenever you push that in right there, it almost kind of like snaps in the little holes. So I'm going to wrap this video up. If you haven't seen my other IKEA furniture videos of me putting all this stuff together, I put a total of over 28 boxes of IKEA furniture, a whole lot of Nordli stuff, some Malum stuff, and there's going to be some future videos coming. So stay tuned if you want to see the Malum bed. There's going to be a full review on it. It's the bed that has the springs on it that actually lifts up for storage up underneath. It's a little bit different than the Nordli bed, which has the 3 drawers on each side, which are pretty much the same drawers as this. And also, if you do have the Nordli bed or in the market to buy the IKEA bed, keep in mind that it does have a defect or a flaw, and I do have a full fix video out there. Click down below. The link should be in the description, and after this video ends, there should be a little link. Click on the video to see the next video. Thanks for watching.